Cannabis Connection in the house.
420 boys.
For the Extreme Retro Review for ECW, January 9th, 1997. 52 minutes, 36 seconds for those who have the coveted, illustrious, and highly elusive Tape Trader edition for the show. For Extreme Retro Review number 245. For those watching along on the WWE Network, my partner in crime is going to give you his thoughts and views as well as the time from that streaming service.
It would be my honor and my pleasure to let everyone know that this seems odd because the last week's was dated January 2nd and this one's dated January 7th, a mere 5 days later. But the January 7th, 1997 edition of Hardcore TV, was 44 minutes and 7 seconds. It is hard for me to fairly rate this show because as soon as it started off with a stomach churning moment, and like there was just a terrible, like you ever just throw up and shit, like you just been like real fucked up, either you drank too much or like you had stomach virus or something, you just couldn't stop Earl and his shit. Or the and then like once you finally do stop Earl and his shit, you know, you eat your little crackers and shit, and you drink some ginger ale and shit, try to feel better, but you still taste the throw up in the back of your mouth and shit, and you just can't get rid of it for like the rest of the day and shit. That's how it was seeing Terry Funk on my TV yet again after I had finally started being able to sleep again at night after having to endure this just most repulsive, like he's just like a living wart and shit. You ever seen a person with a big ass wart on their motherfucking face or something? He's just like a human wart. And he's back.
Desperado by the Eagles opens up this edition of Hardcore TV.
Fuck my life.
With a Terry Funk vignette. On November 16th, 1996, the living legend, Mr. November, Terry Funk, returned to the ECW arena, truly making it a November to remember. Take a shot.
Yeah, take a spin on the motherfucking pistol when you're playing Russian roulette.
Despite multiple injuries suffered over his 32-year career, he and Tommy Dreamer teamed up to take on the franchise Shane Douglas and the undead bulldozer Brian Lee, who's younger, stronger, bigger, yet Terry Funk never backed down. He kept coming and coming. Brian Lee had him for the picking, but Putz stuck Lee with the video camera 20 years after losing the Niggas with Attitudes World Heavyweight title. He makes one last run for the world title, and it starts this Saturday night.
You gotta be kidding me. What manner of witchcraft just allows a fucking 5,000-year-old bag of bones? I don't understand it. It must be destroyed.
So we start off with the theme, but it gets cut off immediately by the fucking Blue World Order.
Yeah.
It's long and awful. First they do gay poses and face shots, and then it ends with Stevie kicks. Moving on. ECW is filmed on location from Webster, Massachusetts. We have a match, Axel Rotten versus Big Stevie Cool with the Blue World Order. Axel comes out to Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. It then cuts to Joey, who runs down the card for tonight. He talks about some shoulder stuff with Taz. and then Raven and Hack in the World Heavyweight title belt situation. Some matches, then they take some sweet-ass time getting to the ring. It goes into a commercial break, and it shows the BWO, the ECW Not For Everyone t-shirt spot, a catalog shield, a House of Hardcore shield, and on the Hardcore Hotline this week, we have a report from Japan about RVD and Sabu. Pitbull number 2 swears revenge against the franchise. Ahmed Johnson gets into a street fight with one of the gangsters, plus ongoing pay-per-view negotiations. We then go to a Raven t-shirt spot, moving on. Extreme Warfare Volume 2 is sold from ECW Home Video, recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 243.
You're welcome.
Moving on. We have a Sandman t-shirt spot, a Hardcore Cafe ECW t-shirt spot, a Taz, a ECFNW, and another BWO t-shirt spot. Moving on. Joined in progress, Axel Rotten and Big Stevie Cool. Fan Cam 2-shot cut-ins. Jumpstart Heat. Shine Comeback. Big Stevie Cool then fucks Axel's face on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, that was a little gay.
Axel cut off. Stevie nuts him, then pins him while humping him missionary style. Another cut off. Axel face fucks Stevie. Dominator gets 2, but a second attempt gets countered into a Stevie kick for the win. I gave it 2 stars, but I'm taking it all back because that shit was gay as fuck. HW take.
Yeah, this match had a lot of gay.
It would have been better without the gay shit. The BWO celebrates. Nova shakes his ass continuously. He ain't Hollywood, but he is the booty man. Terrible.
That should be his name.
That was terrible. Joey puts over that they might be taking over. Fuck you.
The BWO, they do have their moments when I find them comical and shit, but the motherfucking face fucking and shit, it's bad enough Blue Meanie where Daisy, him and Stevie, or where fucking Daisy dupes and shit. So I guess you know what, I'm trying to. They're throwing all this gay in my face and shit, and I'm trying to expect them to not act gay.
Why are you apologizing for it?
Instead of just accepting that they're gay.
We have another BWO t-shirt spot. November to Remember 1996 ECW Home Video spot recounted by us. Extreme Retro Review number 231.
You're welcome.
A House of Hardcore and a catalog shield. Moving on. ECW Home Video is shilling Hardcore Heaven 1996. Recounted by us. Extreme Retro Review number 203.
Damn, yeah.
Back with Joey at the Nest, speculating on Taz's injury to his shoulder, recapping and bringing folks up to speed. He refused to fight in the Battle Royale, and also he refused to fight in Webster, Massachusetts. Instead, handpicking Cuck Candido to be his replacement. Nigga cucking in the ring, too. It then goes into a cliporama of matches not shown in full. The Dudleys are fighting, I don't care. Anthony stares down Gertner. Franchise and Franny versus Tommy and Beulah. They're having a little spat. Hometown Heroes get a welcome as the Eliminators are getting the massive applause in front of their hometown crowd. They face Bubba Ray Dudley and Spike. Extended clippage of high spots. Spike takes the total elimination for the win. I gave it 1 star. HW take.
Oh shit, yeah, no, that's the one where fucking Spike almost lost his head and shit. Overall thoughts of the match, I love the fucking total elimination and shit. The rest of the shit I could care less about.
Back with Joey noting that over the weekend, Killer Kowalski presented the Eliminators with newly designed ECW World Heavyweight Tag Team Championship belts.
Newly designed my ass.
Kowalski trained the champs in his dojo. Joey then calls Killer an early hardcore legend for biting off Yukon Eric's ear back in the 60s.
That's some gangsta shit.
Give me a break.
You not down for the ear biting?
What the fuck am I, Holyfield? Tyson? Later on in this episode, we'll hear words from Killer. Moving on. Joel Gertner is on my TV screen, looking sleazy as shit. The shaky cam is queasy as shit. He brings out Cut Candido, who tells both Gertner and the cam to stop moving. Thank God.
Yeah.
Cut Candido's going on about Louis the Loser. They were both dumped from the WWF for political reasons and wound up in ECW. Cool. But you sit over there and I'll be over here because he's annoying as shit. Always talking and doing the click sign. It drives Cut Candido up the wall and he knows it. Because Louis the Loser is doing it on purpose. Now he comes to ECW, teams with Mikey, and loses, tarnishing his undefeated record. So he put Mikey through a table. LOL. What do you think's going to happen after making Cut Candido lose to RVD? You're going to find out why he's Cut Candido. No gimmicks needed. HW, your take on the promo.
Overall, outside of Cuck being 5'8" and being a cuck, I don't have any issues with Candido and shit. You know, so he's just a short cuck, and I actually feel bad for him and shit. So, you know, I do appreciate the talent that is there, because Candido, you know what I'm saying, that was a above average promo and shit, more than I expected.
We show the full card for January 11th. We have t-shirts shilling for Taz and the Sandman. We have another bumper for the January 17th and 18th shows. Another t-shirt for the Sabu signature spot. A January 31st bumper, House of Hardcore shilling, and a record label shout out. Moving on. The Eliminators get a shout out from the House of Pain for winning back the tag team championships. Moving on. Joey puts over the Massachusetts fans and talks about Raven Nest members facing off. Nova, who's a member of the Blue World Order, versus the undead bulldozer Brian Lee, who's still on the payroll of both Raven and the franchise. From 2 weeks ago, from the Battle Royale, the Blue World Order enter the ring. Sandman and Sabu are down. Devon gets eliminated. Brian Lee comes in, knocks out the other two geeks of the Blue World Order, and then Stevie Richards gets put out of the Battle Royale. These niggas are geeks for life. Joey then details the future of Raven's Nest. He spouts off a series of scenarios and questions. I'm over here like, dude, it's Nova.
So Brian Lee is a terrible team player, and he won't just get along with motherfucking BWO, especially after Stevie issued the motherfucking olive branch and shit. That shit kind of, I was rooting for the BWO to whoop his ass and shit after that, but you know what I'm saying? I understand why they didn't, but I was still rooting for him and shit.
We got Nova versus the undead bulldozer Brian Lee. The first appearance of Judge Jeff Jones. And I must note that the ring announcer was pretty good. Stevie cuts a promo referencing the Battle Royal. Lee was the better man that night. But I don't care. I don't take this shit serious. These niggas are geeks for life. 3 versus 1 handicap match. I'm still putting my money on the undead bulldozer. I said, what are you going to do when the undead bulldozer drops the primetime slam on you? They offer Brian Lee an invite to join the BWO. All 3 of these geeks get beat up. Primetime slam in 29 seconds. LOL, I gave this 5 stars.
I don't get why he didn't just go ahead and be down with the squad. He's already in the family and shit.
After the win, he shoved the referee. I bumped it up to a 6. So on this edition, if you had the coveted, elusive, and highly illustrious tape trader edition of Hardcore TV, you saw a commercial. Columbia House is selling on VHS MASH for $4.95 a tape.
How many episodes is on the tape?
I don't know, but it had to be like 50 tapes.
Oh, shit.
6-hour tape, 18 episodes, at least a tape, incalculable. Fuck that shit. Back with Joey at the Nest recapping Brian Lee and Nova and buries Hulk Hogan suddenly. He throws it to Killer Kowalski for some comments, but he gets choked out by the Undead Bulldozer, who is now the legend-killing Undead Bulldozer, primetime Brian Lee. Joey then screams for him to get some help and to stop. HW take.
Man, what the fuck was up with that that camera angle? Only thing I could think of was that it was just weird how, like, you saw Kowalski's face and then, like, Brian Lee's fingers around his neck and shit. So I'm guessing that they were scared to hurt him and shit. So they didn't want to show him where he looked like he was just giving this nigga a neck rub and shit. And had this weird ass camera angle and shit. Shit was that's all I could think about it.
House of Pain plays their lead single, The Have-Nots, promoting their second album, Rise Again. It's the entire video. And why wasn't this song the Eliminators theme? Moving on. Extreme Warfare Volume 2, ECW home video spot recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 243.
You're welcome.
November to Remember 1996 is recounted by us, and Extreme Retro Review number 231.
You're welcome for that too.
ECW home video selling that shit too. They have Taz, Hack, and Sabu signature t-shirt spots. Moving on. We have an Eliminators promo. They're pissed because Brian Lee beat down Killer Kowalski.
Is that what you call a beat down these days?
Nigga neck rubbed him down to his coffin.
Yeah. Massaged him to sleep and shit.
You want to send a message? Well, it's intercepted by the Eliminators. They've never taken anything personal except for this. Brian Lee and Cuck Candido, we're coming for you. I said, what the fuck did Cuck do? Oh, it was only Brian Lee massaging that nigga down to sleep.
Oh, shit, I didn't peep that part. So are we just going to ignore that they are, apparently they are co-WWF Intercontinental Champions? Are we just going to ignore that and shit?
What do you mean?
The new belts that they got. They're the Intercontinental Championship.
I didn't even notice that shit. That shit's I see it's fun. And I'm picturing it in my head for the 0 subscribers of Street Smart video. Yo, the new World Tag Team titles are the Intercontinental titles. Good catch.
Well, thank you. I can't believe no one else caught that, or was that on purpose? I don't understand.
We're in the ring with Raven. He's talking about the Sandman. He's a better man than Sandman, and that's why Peaches left him.
Gross.
He's a better father than Sandman. That's why his son Tyler left him.
Damn.
He's a better wrestler, and that's why he's the world champ. So give him his belt back. Whew. Sandman rushes the ring, and they fight it out over the belt. Sandman takes it early, but Raven comes back. They brawl all over the venue for a while, and they brawl up the stairs, through the balcony, and through the balcony crowd. There's a sign that reads BWO, and it's the BWO locker room. Raven kicks Hack down the stairs of the BWO locker room. He shoves Stevie, and then all of a sudden, we come back to seeing Sandman wearing a Blue World Order t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently there's speculation. Clearly the BWO just threw that motherfucker on him and shit for the LOLs and shit.
So I started inspecting Raven's t-shirt. This nigga has a Sandman t-shirt on. Vertigo Comics.
Ah.
Rest in peace. They finally make it back to the ring, and this is really a 10-minute brawl to end the show. I didn't even write anything for the overall. It was just a mess. It was a mess of a show to me.
It was very messy, and that brawl was way too long.
My nigga does not like long brawls.
No, I do not. Like, just, you can't, especially when they fighting all over the place, and, you know what I'm saying, it's supposed to be some semblance of control and shit.
And it goes nowhere.
Exactly. Like, just a bunch of, you see back and forths. Like, it might be more entertaining if a nigga's just getting murdered for 8 minutes. Like, at 4 minutes in, it might be too long. And then, like, by minute 6, they'll be like, dang, is he gonna kill this nigga? Like, oh, this nigga still breathing?
Are those punches really effective?
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the nigga back and forth and shit. Yeah. Oosh, oosh, oosh. Ay.
For the 0 subscribers, the Street Smart video.
Oh, shit, we still going? Oh, shit.
Next week, January 16th, 1997, marching along towards the upcoming pay-per-view. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Until then, life is a work. Make sure you get paid for it. We out. Peace.
Peace.